Our analytics expert, Cynthia Freeland, has dropped her latest projections on the top 10 best offenses in the NFL. The Chiefs in the top spot there, Cowboys in the middle of the pack at 5, and the Jets round out the top 10. You can see the full list over at NFL.com and read her analysis. I highly recommend that. So let's dive in a little deeper into a few of Cynthia's projections and a few of these teams. And guys, let's start with the Cowboys because Cynthia has them at number 5. So the question is here, Baldy, I'm going to start with you. Will the Cowboys be a top 10 offense with a more run-focused approach?
I think they can be, MJ. You know, one of the things that they benefit by is nobody's taken the ball away more than the Cowboys in the last 2 years. 67 takeaways. The next closest team is 60. So they get short fields and they get the ball back to the offense, number one. Tony Pollard, I'm a little concerned. I mean, last year he carried it 193 times. Like, he carried it 139 times in 3 years at Memphis. He's never carried the ball 200 times in his life. So they're going to miss Zeke. They're just going to miss him. They're going to miss the teammate, the practice guy, the game day guy. They're going to miss him. Now, Rojo's there, and they drafted Deuce Vaughn. I think they're going to miss him. But I am excited to see Mike McCarthy because I think he should have been the offense coordinator all along. And I'm excited to see Mike work with Dak because I think they're going to really relate to each other very well, especially throughout a game. And I do think the addition of Brandon Cooks is going to be a huge upgrade over what I saw from Michael Gallup a year ago.
Yeah, Baldy, they've been a top 4 scoring offense the last 2 years. The question for the Cowboys is they haven't shown up when it's playoff time. Last 2 times they played in the playoffs, 12 points and 17 points, both losses to end their season against the 49ers. That's a really good defense, but that doesn't look like a top offense when it counts. And so for me, there's a lot of pressure on this team for them to do it now. You start looking at their roster, you know, CeeDee Lamb's playing on a 5th-year option. Trayvon Diggs is in the final year of his contract. Tony Pollard on his franchise tag. Prescott and Parsons both up for extension soon. So you've got to ask yourself a question, you know, is this core good enough to get it done, even with the regular season stats? I'm with you. Mike McCarthy calling plays should help. Brandon Cooks feels a huge need for that second wide receiver void. But every year we talk about the Cowboys and they're going to do this, they're going to do that. I'm going to wait for them to show it before I believe anything as far as their playoff success.
That's very prudent. And to your point, I think no more pressure than I think going into this season than what we've seen over the past maybe 3 or 4 years around this Cowboys team. All right, next on this list, at number 6, Cynthia has the 49ers, which is a team that we've been talking about quite a bit, and for good reason, Sue. So do you think that Purdy Mania 2.0, if that's the way it goes, can really help extend the 49ers into a playoff run? I mean, you went up against this team in the NFC Championship.
Yeah, the 49ers and Brock Purdy, I'm not a believer by any means. I don't think this offense runs through Brock Purdy. I personally believe Shanahan wants to see them succeed with Christian McCaffrey and that offensive line creating holes to make big plays down the field from that standpoint. Then you look at Deebo Samuel and what they want to do with him. They just want to get the ball in his hands. He's a playmaker. He's all-purpose everything. He can be receiver, running back, and getting those things done for them. So I don't see it with with Brock Purdy, but I mean, that's just my take when I played against him when I was in the NFC West and now just recently in the NFC Championship when we took care of business.
And Dominican Sue, I couldn't disagree more with what you just said.
Wow.
Brock
Okay,
Purdy,
Baldy.
in his 8 starts, was the highest-rated quarterback in this league.
Yeah.
Higher than Mahomes, higher than Tua, highest-rated quarterback in this league.
Yeah.
Like, he was more than handing the ball off to McCaffrey and flipping it to Deebo in a reverse. The guy was a playmaker. And while they are the most talented team in this league, when you look at just the high-priced players, whether it's Trent Williams, whether it's McCaffrey, whether it's Deebo, whether it's Kittle, you know, Bosa, Freddie Warner. I mean, they've got some of the highest paid guys in the league at all those positions. It's talent. But they still need somebody to get the ball to all these guys. That being said, Ndamukong, he's coming off Tommy John surgery. I have never heard a football player getting Tommy John surgery. Baseball players all the time, every year. So I don't know what this recovery is going to be like. When that elbow and that arm are going to get back to that form that he demonstrated a year ago. And when you were in Philadelphia, you knocked him out in the 6th play. It was a great play by Hassan Reddick to get him out of the game and to really turn your fortunes a good way. But I got to see. I got to see if Purdy's in there. I completely believe in this team being a top 5 offense if he's truly healthy.
For what it's worth, I just saw both Brock and Trey Lance over at a foundation weekend for the 49ers. They have great chemistry. So for anyone thinking there's like some kind of tension in that quarterback room, they seem to have great chemistry, continuing on that presence that we know that 49ers locker room has. All right, let's move right along the ranks here, because at number 7, we have the Seahawks. All right, Cam, jump in here, my friend. Seahawks offense, you think among the NFC's elite?
Yeah, they certainly can be better than they were last year, which was a top 10 offense. And I like that they built around Geno Smith. There was a lot of speculation through the draft. Are they going to draft a quarterback? Well, Geno was one of the best quarterbacks in the NFC last year and one of the best stories. And he is that way again going into this season. They have a great trio now of receivers, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and Jackson Smith-Njigba, who I talked to a GM and executive from different teams. They had him as the number 1 receiver on their board. They got him with the 20th overall pick. He's going to be their slot guy, Pete Carroll said, a guy who can make big plays out of the slot while those veterans move outside. That makes them more dynamic as an offense. And then they have Kenneth Walker coming back, who had a great season. They pair him with Zach Charbonnet. I really like how they're building the Seahawks team. My big question for them is, can they get over the hump and beat the Philadelphia Eagles, beat the San Francisco 49ers? I'm not quite sure they're there yet. They went 1-5 against playoff teams last season. They have to be better against the teams that matter, or they're just going to be 3rd or 4th best in the NFC as their ceiling.
I do like him, Cam. I like the way this team is built. I think it's in the vision of what Pete Carroll wants in an offense. And they have a lot of really good pieces. I mean, they've got multiple ways that they can run the ball, that they can attack you. They love their tight ends. Let me show you right here. They've put 3 tight ends on the field. With it, Will Dissly right there, Noah Fant, along with Colby Parkinson. They love this 3 tight end situation where Parkinson comes, knocks out Kyle Van Noy right there, goes up on the corner, gets another hit, and K9 just goes 74 yards, the longest play from scrimmage by the Seahawks all year long. Averaged over 4.5 yards a carry throughout the year when he's there. This tandem is as good as there is in football. Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, only tandem in the league with 35 touchdowns between the 2 of them over the last 4 years. They love this play-action game right here. Sell the run to K9, run these speedo routes down the field in some combination. Both of them have the ability to get over the top on any defense in this league. Geno dropped this one in the bucket perfectly. Cam, you mentioned Jackson Smith-Njigba will now join this deal. And here's DK coming in motion right here. This play is designed for him to hook up right over the middle. He sits down right in the middle, but Geno's getting flushed here. So immediately, DK, with his experiences, now going in his 5th year, hand up in the air, finds the void. Geno's eyes are down the field where they're supposed to be, and he flips it to him, and DK is a finisher. And he does finish in the paint right there for a touchdown. This is a great duo of receivers. They had 2 rookie tackles last year. Sometimes that's a formula for disaster. But both Abe Lucas, along with Charles Cross, they showed that they've got the mettle to be long-term starters in this league.
So I agree with both of you guys. It's plain and simple. Geno is trusted by Pete Carroll. And as Cam said, it's very simple. They want to build around him. They want to continue to add pieces of what he's doing. And plain and simple, Geno follows a wristband. So it's a great thing for Pete, and they're loving every bit of that. And in continuing to build, I think they're going to make a run and try and take over the NFC West. And I think one piece that I would love is seeing a tough guy who's been through trials and tribulations as Geno has, just like a Jay Cutler, who I got a lot of respect with and played with in Miami. That's the type of guy you want to go to war with.